Why the runner runs. One of the things that's really difficult to understand in a twin flame partnership is the dynamic between the runner and the chaser. Sometimes when we meet our twin, those of us who might be what's called the chaser, and those of us who are also the runner, both halves of the partnership experience a deep love and reconnection with divine source love. We have the opportunity in our connection to feel the type of love that we might feel if we were standing in the presence of source, just as we did before we were born and just as we will after we die. The beautiful thing about that type of experience is that it reminds us of who we really are and what really matters. It shows us the universality of love. The challenging thing about this type of experience is that our DNA memory is programmed to only know this type of love through the experience of death. Because we, in our genetic memory, understand that that type of love, the cost of that type of love, getting to that kind of love, does require some level of dying or some level of death or shedding of the body, the material plane, the ego, anything associated with the three-dimensional or physical world. The person in the twin flame bond who is less comfortable with death, with letting go, less comfortable with emotional nudity and vulnerability, this person will often need a break. This person will sometimes need to assess what is dying and am I willing to let it go? We're programmed to avoid death and to always return to things that we know are survivable. You may find that as both of you become exposed and become more and more vulnerable in your twin flame partnership, that the intensity dials up. Because often we have yet to learn as beings on planet Earth how to hold that level of love and intensity given the constraints of human culture, human behavior, and physical bodies. We were never taught how to walk around naked all the time. And the person least familiar with this type of emotional vulnerability will sometimes need to take breaks to get acclimated. It's like learning how to walk barefoot on the earth without shoes on anywhere, ever. And they all need time to integrate the growth and recognize their mind and soul with the existing parts of their personality and patterns and community in a reconfiguration. A simpler way to say this might be, they met you, they changed. They weren't necessarily ready for the change. The people they knew, the places they went, the work they did, all now have to be re-evaluated. And sometimes the only way that re-evaluation can happen is when they go back to those environments and relationships and rework through them. When the runner runs, the quote unquote runner, when the runner runs, don't chase them. Know that they feel the connection too, and that there is a part of their soul that wants what you want. They feel the wholeness and they want to remain in it, but they need the opportunity to prepare the other areas of their personality and life to have it, to reconcile themselves to the death that this type of connection to source love in a physical body is asking of them. This may mean that they will need opportunities to see how their old coping mechanisms and people and patterns don't fit, or how much of their wound no longer heals or still heals with those old people, old patterns, and old places. For the runner to maintain their sovereignty, for them to hold on to something familiar to them in the face of this death, they won't be able to work this process with you, the quote unquote chaser. Children don't learn how to walk on their own if parents never let go of their hands. And we don't ever learn how to truly ride a bike and find that inner balance if we never take off the training wheels. As the person more comfortable with the union and the emotional vulnerability that it brings up, you are the training wheels. Almost by design, your evolutionary unionship may call forward karmic pieces of their past to resolve, because they now have access to the tools and the bandwidth to resolve these karmic pieces of their past. You may find that once the two of you came into union, what is known as karmic soulmates or karmic soul ties may come up into their life. You may, common twin flame knowledge suggests that this is an interference, or that this person is trying to take you away from your twin flame. But really, what's happening is your partner is going back to resolve, to complete, to learn who they are now, given everything they cannot forget out of their connection with you. These people may not necessarily come from past lives. They may be past partners in this life. It may not be a person at all that's living. It may be that the union triggered issues with parents and their childhood or past traumas. In essence, the wholeness of your union that both of you felt has been a gift, and a gift enough for them to take the next step in their healing. When they go to do that without you, know that it is not about you. It's not personal. It's only that they want to know who they are, given that they can't forget the wholeness that they shared when they were with you. They want to know how that wholeness reconfigures their world without losing a complete sense of self. Whether you, as the quote unquote chaser, keep your heart open to their return, or witness their work with their karmic ties and stand right by them, or turn in the other direction, is a very personal choice. Because the twin flame journey is meant to move Earth and the beings on it toward greater love, the question you can ask yourself as the quote unquote chaser, what I like to prefer and refer to is the person who's more comfortable with emotional nakedness and intensity. The question that we can ask ourselves is, in my journey, given what I know about love, what's the most self-loving thing that I can do? What will keep my heart open to love? What will close my heart to love? When it comes to relating with other human beings with love, what's my growth edge? What am I willing to do or be in the name of love that I've not been willing to do or be before? For some, in asking this question, you may find that the answer is to create closure and healthy completion, where in the past you've stayed open for too long, or on the other hand, you burned bridges. For others, you may realize that what this means is stepping into true transparency and true vulnerability about your desires. I can't say what that is for you, but when you're very honest with yourself, you will know. As the quote unquote chaser, the thing to do when the runner runs is to choose the path of deeper self-love. Know that this is the gift of them choosing themselves. It shows the chaser how to go within and choose their own next step on the evolutionary journey too. Because in reality, when you're dealing with a twin flame, you're actually not twins, which implies two different souls in two different bodies. You're actually one soul. And what you nourish in yourself also grows and nourishes inside of them. Just like you can never water just one leaf without the whole plant growing, and you can't give vitamins to just one part of your body without benefiting the entire system. When you deepen your self-love in the face of the departure of your twin, it can only do the same for them and cause growth in the system and the body that is the two of you as one. As you're taking this in, I want you to consider, what's the kindest, tenderest, most loving thing that I can do for me? And let the love that we have for our twin transform the way that we choose to love ourselves.